What is up, you guys? So today I'm gonna do a little bit of a Q&A. It's gonna be a short one this time, but I did have some burning questions that I was getting in my DMs under my last video, which if you watched my last video and you're back again, welcome back. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna get straight into it. So the question that I got a lot was anesthesia. Do they use an epidural? Do they, like, what do they do? So yes, they did use an epidural on me. I believe that's what they usually use. And out of the whole surgery, this is the part that I was nervous about the most, because like I said, I've seen Teen Mom, I've seen the pain in these girls' eyes, like literally. I was so nervous about this, and I was super nervous about that part. Like, you guys, I was shaking. I was so nervous. Oh my god, that was my dog. But yeah, honestly, you guys, it was not that bad, thankfully. So what they do is they use lidocaine on your back first. So what lidocaine does is it numbs your back. So they did the lidocaine, and then they injected you. I'm not gonna say it doesn't hurt. I'm not gonna say it feels good. It feels uncomfortable, yes, it does, but it's quick like that, you guys. I think he only injected me maybe in 2 or 3 areas, and I think I even asked him, I'm like, is this what you guys use like for pregnant women, blah blah blah. And I think he said, he's like, the needle is a little bit, he's like, we use a thinner needle. I believe that's what he said. I believe, don't take my word for it, but I believe that's what he said. I've heard people mention that the epidural makes girls less nauseous. I think I heard that this anesthesia, when they have like the little oxygen thing like that, that one like knocks you the fuck out. They were saying that this one makes you sick a little bit less, like you're less, I mean, girls still get sick, but I believe this method, you're less prone to getting nauseous and nausea and things like that. So yeah, so I remember, like, in my last video I showed that, like, there was a clip of me waking up and I was just like so thirsty, and I remember the nurses saying like, oh, we can't give you any water yet, like, because it might make you sick, blah 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 blah. So I remember just like, after a while, maybe it was like 20 minutes later, they came in with water and Jello just to make sure that I wasn't gonna like be sick or anything like that. But yeah, I was completely fine. I felt good and everything like that. Also, girls wanted to know if I was awake during my treatment, like if I was awake during the surgery. Yes, I was awake, but before you guys freak out, it was not like I was awake like, hey girl, what's up, like, what you gonna do next? Like, no, like literally I was awake, but I felt like I was in a dream. So it's like, this is probably how I look. Like, I was like awake, but like that, like, you're like awake and you can hear stuff. Like, I remember I could hear them like speaking, and I can hear like music in the background and things like that. Like, I just remember waking up and being like, yo, I feel like I was awake the whole time. Like, I'm not an easy sleeper. Like, I'm not the type that I'm a light sleeper. So I just remember, like, what I remember was when they were gonna flip me over, I remember them telling me, like, they're like, okay, we're gonna flip you over. And right when they flipped me over, I think that's when I did fall asleep, because I am a stomach sleeper. But that's like when I kind of did fall asleep more, because I don't really remember being awake that much when they were doing my booty, you know? I was awake, but it's not a freak out. Like, if you guys like do suffer from anxiety and stuff, I know I do get anxious sometimes, and I was like scared of like, okay, what if I'm awake and I freaking have a panic attack? No, you have woozy pills, you're under medication, like you're not fully there, you know what I mean? Like, you're relaxed, so you don't feel anything. Like, literally so many girls were saying like, I've always wanted to do this, or I really want to do this, but I'm so scared. Like I don't know, I've always wanted to do it, but I'm terrified, blah, blah, blah. All I'm gonna say about that is don't let fear decide for you. If this is something you've always wanted to do, the whole surgery part, girl, that's the easy part, to be honest. Like that is literally the easy part, because they do everything for you, girl. Like you're just laying there and you wake up and you snatched, like literally. Like that's the easy part if that's what you're afraid of. But honestly, recovery for me, it wasn't too bad. But I also want to talk about recovery house. I got a lot of questions about like recovery houses, and is it worth it to stay in a recovery house? Because I know recovery houses are a bit pricey. I believe it was like $960 something to stay in the recovery house that I stayed in. I stayed there for 7 days, so like 6 days, but like on the 7th day I checked out. And a lot of girls are like, how long am I supposed to stay there? And the doctor, my Dr. Campos, he wanted you to stay in Tijuana for at least 7 to 10 days or 8 to 10 days, something like that. But a lot of girls stay for like 7 days, and that's because he wants to make, but I'm not from that far away. You know, if you're coming from like Chicago or I don't know, something far, then yeah, girl, I would stay as long as they freaking need me to stay. Like, you know what I mean? Because I mean, with the whole drain situation, a lot of girls were also asking like, how long do I leave the drain in for? Like blah 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 blah. Your doctor's gonna tell you. But what I was told, and I think a lot of girls were also told this, you cannot drain more than 25 in 24 hours. And on your little drain you have marks like that, so it says like 100, 50, 25. So they don't want you to drain more than 25 in 24 hours. So that's when you know you can take your drain off, in my situation. But yeah, they want you to be draining like a little bit, you know. And I believe I took my drain out maybe within 12 days, and I was, by the 10th day, I believe I was draining that 25 in 24 hours, but I waited 2 more days just to make sure. Also, my boyfriend, I really wanted my boyfriend to take my drain out for me, but he was not home. He was out working. My boyfriend's a truck driver. He travels for work, so he wasn't in town to do it. So I was getting real impatient, girl. Like the drain, you just get over it after a while. Like you're just like, yo, I'm not trying to have this drain dangling out of me. Because literally every step you take, when you're taking a shower, when you're laying down, when you're getting up, you have to be extra cautious with that drain, because it's stitched onto you. You know what I mean? I don't want to freak anybody out, but I mean, it's not super painful or anything. Like I didn't have any bad experiences or anything like that, but thankfully. But you just get over it, bro. Like I'm telling you, once you take that drain out, you feel like a new woman. You feel like you can conquer the world. Literally the same day that I took my drain out, I drove for the first time. Like I was feeling good enough to drive, and I didn't drive far. Literally down the street I got some mariscos and then like takeout, and then I went back home, and I felt so good, girl, because from being in quarantine to being in recovery, I just felt like, yo, I need to get out. Like, you know what I mean? So I literally just went down the street, I picked up my mariscos, and I came back home. But it just felt so good. But anyway, yeah, so the drain in my last video, that's all the tea on that, how I pulled it out myself. And I also just want to really say, I'm not a doctor, obviously. I'm not a nurse. I'm not any type of like medical professional or anything like that. But I know like a lot of people kind of do pull their drain out themselves, and I thought like I knew I was pretty capable of doing it myself. And I'm not encouraging anyone to do that. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I'm just sharing what I did, and I was very careful about it, very smart about it, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Also, I also got a lot of questions regarding, did I fly, did I drive? And we did drive. So getting there to Tijuana, I'm from Arizona, like I said, my mom drove us, and my mom was not able to stay with my mom was not able to stay with me because of the pandemic and everything like that. The doctor does not want anyone there that's not a patient. The recovery house was the same way. They don't want anyone who's not a patient there. So just for the health of everyone and the security of everyone. So I mean, that makes sense, and I was totally okay with that. Like, I was not afraid of being alone or anything like that. So my mom drove us. She was there for maybe 2 days, and then she went back home. What the heck, is my hair messed up? Oh my gosh, my hair was like that the whole time. I'm sorry, my hair is a little bit crazy. So going back home, I was very lucky in the sense of, like I said, my boyfriend's a truck driver. We came back in his semi, so I was literally laying the whole way back, and I'm really thankful for that, because I've seen other girls kind of just in the kind of laying in the back seat, or you know, standing the whole time in the airplane, and I'm just like, dang girl, y'all are troopers. Like, I mean, what else can you do, right? Like, so when I was in recovery, and like the first few days, like I think my first 2 appointments to go to my massages, I didn't have a BBL pillow, and the owner takes you to your appointments in my situation at my recovery house, which was Princess Palace Recovery, and I remember just laying in the back seat, just, oh my god, I would be so nauseous, you guys. Just, it was uncomfortable because there's potholes, it's shaky, and I remember just like, ooh, like being nauseous coming out of the car, because, you know, I don't know, you're laying in the back seat, like it's just not comfortable, you know. So I can't imagine girls who do it for hours getting home, you know. But if I'm gonna give you advice, it's gonna be get a BBL pillow, because as soon as I got a BBL pillow, I felt so much better, like going to my appointments and everything like that. And if you are driving back, get a BBL pillow. I think I saw maybe Annette 69, she was kind of like on her knees, kind of facing the back of the car, like she was in the passenger seat facing the back kind of, and I think she also laid. But I mean, it is gonna be a little bit rough, but just know it's temporary, girl, and it's gonna be all worth it when you're nice and snatched in your cute little outfits, summer 2021, whatever, whenever you're gonna get your little surgery. It's gonna be worth it, girl, okay? You gotta suffer a little bit to know, like, yo, I did that. I'm a badass bitch. I fucking did it, you know? So yeah. Also, another question was birth control. Like I mentioned in my last video, I talked about the whole birth control things, and a lot of girls were like, what if I have an IUD? What if I have like those type of like inserted type of birth controls? And like I said, I'm not a doctor, I don't have those answers for you, but what I will say is, when applying for your surgery, this is all very good information. Anything unique to you, mention that to the staff, to the doctors, whoever you talk to when applying for your surgery. That is just very good, important stuff. So I don't have the answer to that, but just mention it to your doctor. I was taking the pill, so if you're taking the pill or something like that, I believe it was stop taking birth control 4 weeks before your surgery. A few girls also asked about fajas, and in my situation, I did not. I only bought my stage 2 faja on Amazon. That's the only one. I didn't buy any of my stage 1s. I literally, so in my situation with Dr. Campos, he gives you a faja that's included in your price and everything like that. So I just bought an extra one when I was there. I believe it was like $120. And for me, it was more about like, I did not want to fuck up my results. Like, I didn't want to go and buy something that like on Amazon or something like that was gonna mess up my results when you're freshly out of surgery. Like, you know what I mean? So I literally just got an extra one there. They know what they're doing and everything like that. My stage 2 faja, like I said, another girl that went to my same doctor, she used this faja, and I believe someone else also used this faja, and I really liked the faja. Maybe, what the fuck, it was like a fuzz. Maybe it's the same brand, I'm not sure, but I really liked this faja. So I'm gonna link it down below so you guys can kind of see which faja it is and everything like that. And yeah, I mean, I didn't want to mess up my results, so like foams. And I remember asking about boards and stuff like that, and they're just like, girls always buy boards and the doctor doesn't like anybody using those and blah 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 blah. I didn't use them. I did use the foams. I used them forever, I feel. And then yeah, that's it. I didn't use boards. I didn't use any of that stuff. So yeah. Girls were also asking, do you pay everything up front? So like I mentioned in my last video, like I said, y'all gonna get tired of me really saying that. But so you make $1,000 deposit. In my case with my doctor, I made $1,000 deposit, and the rest you pay it the day of your surgery. So I paid $1,000 to save my date, and the rest of the money of my surgery you pay it the day of. Like, you pay it when they walk you into the little room. When you first get there, they're talking to you about everything, and then after you pay, that's when they start doing your blood work and everything else. Okay? Okay. What else did girls ask me? What else did girls ask me? Another girl asked if this was something that you need to get done again. Like, let me read you exactly what she said. Is this a one-time thing, or do we have to repeat this in a couple of years? So what I think is, girls who get a round 2 is because they're not satisfied with their prior results. So I really think that is up to you. If you didn't like your results, if you wanted to go a little bit more, if you wanted to change something, or maybe you had babies, so you want to get another round 2, that's when I believe you would repeat the process. Also, I thought of like breast implants, things like that, you know, maybe I've seen cases where girls have had their breast implants for 10 years and they leak, or they need to change them out or something like that. This is not anything foreign going into your body. You're not getting implants. A BBL is literally fat from stubborn areas, and they move it to your booty, that and your hips and things like that. So yeah, that's what I think. You don't need to repeat the process unless you want to change your results and things like that. Maybe if you've had kids, or if you don't like your results. So that's when I think that would come in. Also, somebody asked if I felt safe. So yes, I felt very safe. I know when you think Tijuana, you think like, I don't know, what do you think? Drug dealers, scary shit? I don't know. But yes, so at the doctor's office, they have a security guard as soon as you walk in. So they have a security guard, and they literally, like, they ask you, oh, what do you, like, they literally ask you like where you're headed and blah blah blah, and like what button to push. Like, you say, oh, I'm going to Lotus Med Group, and they're like, okay, I think it's 3 or something like that, the button 3 in the elevator or something. But honestly, I didn't feel unsafe for anything. The doctor's office was not sketchy at all. Like literally it was very clean. Like I don't know, nothing was sketchy about it. The only thing that I will say that was a little, I was like, what the fuck, I felt like I was in a movie, was I've never had surgery before or anything like that. So, but I just imagine this. So when you're in the little room and they're putting your IVs and everything like that, they transfer you to another room to do the surgery and stuff, right? So they literally walk you. Like they walk you. I don't know if y'all saw Jenny 69's video when she's walking into the surgery room. It's the same thing. Like literally I was like walking in and they were taking my little like IV and stuff like that, but I remember walking in and you see all the little instruments, you see the little bed and everything, and I just remember thinking like, girl, what the fuck did I get myself into? But I didn't feel unsafe or anything like that. Like that's just Mexico, I feel like. I don't know, but I didn't feel unsafe or anything. It wasn't dirty, there was nothing bad or anything sketchy. It was, I just remember feeling like I was in a movie, like oh shit, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, like literally, like you just, that was the part that I was like, shit just got real, when I was walking into the surgery room and you see all the little stuff. But yeah, I didn't feel unsafe. Also with the recovery house, I didn't feel unsafe either. Like it was kind of like in a nice area. I'm not gonna say it was in like a bad area. And you're not deep in Tijuana. I'm not familiar with Tijuana. I'm not from there. You know, so, but I imagine it like the Nogales border. Nah, never mind. I ain't even gonna get into it. Never mind. All right, I think that's it, you guys. Like, to be honest, those were the questions that I got the most. And I didn't want this to be a whole long ass video like my last one, but you guys, I really believe in videos like this where girls kind of talk about their experience, they talk about what they went through, because I get it. Like before you go into surgery, you want to know, you want to do your research, you want to know what to expect, you want to know what you didn't ask your doctor, or what you don't even think to ask. Like, this is what's good about questions, I mean videos like this, is other people are thinking of other things that you didn't even think about, that you have the information to now, you know? So I really believe in videos like this where girls are being real, they're being honest, and they're sharing their experience, you know? Everybody's different. So yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, you like this video, and you comment anything else that I didn't mention or that you have questions to. And subscribe to my channel if you guys like the information and you guys kind of want to follow me on the rest of my journey, or just other things. I'm not only going to be posting BBL things. I've always wanted to do YouTube and stuff like that. So even if, you know, 3 people watch, like I feel like I still want to share just fun stuff. I really like to travel, you guys. I have a travel video of me in Australia. And I just like fun things, you know what I mean? Just like vlogging and things like that. So if you guys want to subscribe to my channel, I would really love that. Leave me a comment down below. Also follow me on Instagram if you're into that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. I'll see you in the next one.